I like the hats.
Hey, it's a Christmas special, man. It's a Christmas special.
Yeah.
So what's up? Welcome in, guys. It's Keeping Tabs. I'm Luke.
I'm Colin.
And guys, we got a special interview today with Dynamo Youth Academy product. Welcome in. And go ahead, C. I'll let you start off.
So just first off, just give us a little bit of background about yourself. Like, what do you like to do in your free time when you're not playing with the Dynamo?
To be honest, I'm a big fan of basketball. So me and my friends like to hoop a lot. Like we'll go to a park that's like 5 minutes away from my house and we'll go play basketball. Or we'll just hang out like at the park and just spend time, because it's kind of like sometimes you just need that break from soccer and like you just want to be a kid. And
so you a big Rockets fan or big Rockets?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you think about the James Harden scandal, all that?
Yeah, all this.
It's kind of irritating, but I think it's kind of time for him to move on because he's not the best player for us, but it is what it is.
It is what it is, yeah. I don't know what's going to end up with that, but,
So how did you get into soccer first? Was it your friends or was it your family that got you into it?
To be honest, my whole family played soccer. Like only my mom, I think, and my oldest sisters were the only ones that didn't play because we come from a big family. I'm the baby of 9. So it was just passed on, and some of my brothers growing up, like playing soccer at their high school teams or like Sunday league. So they just kind of brought it into me and then it just went through with me,
So we've talked to other players on the team, but we never talked to a youth product, So you're about to graduate high school. So was your high school team like the best high school team, like especially because you were on it, or how did that go? Like, did you win any trophies?
Yeah, so I was at a school called Episcopal my freshman and sophomore year, and I was able to play with them. And my sophomore year, we were the number, like, I think it was on Top Soccer. We were like the number 1 team in the nation. Yeah, so we were pretty legit. And we had a lot of players that played club soccer around Houston and like some people that used to play for the Dynamo with the academy but had gotten cut, but we had a pretty strong team.
Did you ever play with any of your siblings like on the same team?
I did once when I was like 12 in the Sunday league game. I played with them and it was kind of fun. They kind of just protected me and I was able to score and it was kind of fun. Yeah.
So as a high schooler, I'm sure, right, you got to play some FIFA, right?
Yeah.
I play a little bit of video games. I'm not that big of a fan of it. I've never was. I'm kind of like a outside guy, I like
yeah.
But yeah.
Like, my bad. What was that?
I like to go outside a lot more. I'm not the greatest at FIFA, but, I'll still beat my brother here and there.
Yeah.
Competition.
So what has motivated you through all the COVID stuff to keep on going, keep on training?
I would say just like it's all mental, like if you you got to take advantage of this time to like make sure you're like using it to be better because in this like during COVID, we were out for like, I think I want to say 6 months. And that time I could have been slacking off and I could have came back worse, but I had to mentally prepare myself to like make sure that I was pushing myself. And my brother really helps me a lot. We're keeping me motivated, He would send me like random texts like throughout the day, like just telling me like you have to like use this time. And he would send me like Kobe quotes or he would send me stuff like that. And, that really helped. He's a big part of my life. So I'm really thankful for that.
So something we like to ask all the players we have on and all the players we interview is, back when we used to play our sports in high school, there was always a guy you were kind of closest with on the team. And so as for you, who's your, kind of best friend on the team, guy you're closest with?
Like on the first team?
Yes.
Or with the youth?
Well, either. Yeah. But whichever one for you, whichever you think.
For the first team, I would probably say it's between like 2 or 3 guys. It's with Victor, the center back. I'm really cool.
Really?
Yeah.
Victor Cabrera?
Yeah, you would think he's a really quiet guy, but he has a lot to say. It's kind of funny. Yeah. And Alejandro and Ronnie, those are 2 guys that I'm really close with. Yeah. Because when me and Juan would come in a lot, they would kind of try to like bully us and try to toughen us up. So we would kind of bully back and we ended up getting really cool. So yeah, it was fun.
So, have you been a long-time Dynamo fan, or is this just something that's come up since you've signed with the team, kind of played with the academy?
Since I was younger, my brother used to always take me to the Robertson Stadium games back when Brian Ching, De Rosario was on the team. So, yeah, I've always been a fan. I have shirts, like, since I was, like, 6 that I still have. And, like, how they fit me to, like, my chest is funny. But, yeah, I've always been a big fan.
So leading into that, who is your all-time favorite Dynamo player? I know you knew it was coming.
Yeah.
Like,
I would have to say most likely Stuart Holden.
Oh,
okay, yeah, hey, that's a little mix-up there. I mean,
Sure.
so on the soccer field, what is your preferred position? What do you feel most comfortable playing?
I would say my most comfortable position would be center attacking mid for sure because I like to be the one that's like in charge of like just doing the plays, and I like being on the ball a lot, you know. So I would say that's my most preferred position.
So what do you think makes you the best soccer player that you are? What skill or attribute makes you who you are? Makes your own style your style?
I would say I think I'm pretty developed for my age, like my understanding of the game, like on and off the ball. So I would say that really helps me a lot, and it puts me in spots where it doesn't make a situation so complicated, if you know what I mean. So I'm already knowing what I want to do before I get the ball, and I'm putting myself in good positions to not have to take as many touches as the other players, you know.
So is there anybody that you try to model your play after or that you've looked up to your whole life as a
Uh,
soccer player?
yeah, of course, Messi, but you know, be
Yeah.
more realistic. I would say that I see myself kind of playing like Mesut Ozil.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how has it been like with Tab Ramos? Obviously, you're coming in as a young guy. Has he been hard on you guys? Has he kind of, brought y'all in and kind of had the team around y'all, or how's it been?
I would say he's been a lot of help. You know, he's been real with us. You know, like he talks to us like during trainings, and he just communicates with us really well. Like he'll tell us what he feels like we should like improve on, or like I remember like when we came in after coronavirus and me and Juan stepped in. The first week, you know, it was kind of like we weren't at our best. You know, we hadn't trained in 6 months. We were just getting into that rhythm again. And like after that first week, we were a lot more comfortable, and like he would communicate with us, telling us like, you know, we're looking a lot more stronger, and he would tell us like where he wanted us to like step up, like on defense and stuff like that. So I would say he's been a lot of help just to keep us on the right track. And yeah,
So have you been given any direction by the Dynamo Academy or the senior staff as to like what is expected to you for you to make a shot at the first team this season?
I've honestly been told that like as soon as I prove myself to be ready, that they're willing to give me the chance, you know, because at the end of the day, it all ends up to like what I do on the field at practice, you know, because you of course have to win a spot at practice. So they told me if I put in the work and if I prove to them that I'm ready, that they're willing to give me the debut as fast as possible.
So, we run a Dynamo show and there's a lot of hypotheticals. We call them Dynatheticals. And one I want to ask you is, so what if, just a little scenario, what if RGV came and said, right now you're expected first team minutes for you to go on loan for the rest of the season? Or would you stay with the Dynamo to try to get a crack at the first team? What would you most rather do?
I mean, I think that's a situation that I would have to talk over with my family and my agent, you know. And my family they're really Christian based. So I think like my dad would pray on it and everything as a family. And we would decide like what felt right at the moment, you know. I don't think I would be able to answer that right now, but
Yeah,
yes.
that's fair.
So looking forward to next season, is there anything in particular you're getting ready for, getting excited for? Entering it'll be the first year that you're an MLS player. You're signed to a contract. I mean, that's crazy.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to enjoy it as much as I can, you know, just have fun. This is my favorite thing to do. I live for this sport, so as long as I'm enjoying it, I think I'll be fine.
So what was like the overall vibe of like the school you were at whenever you got signed to your first team contract? Like, did everyone know? Was everyone talking about it?
I actually left my high school my sophomore year, so right now I'm doing well, but everyone texted me and stuff, and they were excited. They were like pretty like I don't know. It's just weird, you know, like you don't expect it. I didn't really tell no one at all, and it just happened. So they were pretty shocked.
So this is thinking into the future. But if the chance ever came, would you choose to play for the U.S. internationally, or how would you make that decision?
I mean, like I said for RGB, like I think it's a conversation I would have for like with my agent because you know Salvadoran pride, of course, but there's a lot that comes into it. So I mean, yeah, I would love to play for the U.S., but it's just whichever situation comes out being the best at the moment that I would take.
So looking back at past soccer moments, is there a particular time or goal or moment that you remember back and you look back and say, that was the most fun I ever had playing soccer. That's the most memorable moment.
Yeah, I want to say it was last year during October or November. We went to the GA Cup with the U17 team, and I had to say that was like one of the best tournaments I've had yet. And I ended up scoring, I think, 3 goals in 3 games, and I scored two against Portland, and that has to be like my favorite game I've played in my whole life yet. And it was pretty legit. Like we were losing 1-0, and I think I tied it up, and then I gave an assist, and then I scored the third goal. So it was pretty cool.
And 1 second. So also, do you have aspirations to go to Europe? Are you planning to stay in the Dynamo? I mean, obviously it's something that a lot of the fans we asked, what do you want us to ask Daniel Rios whenever we do the interview? And one of the big ones was, do you have aspirations for Europe? Obviously, Elise left us. Manotas is gone as well. I know it's a big future question, hypothetical, but we got to ask it. They asked us to ask it, so there it is.
No, yeah, I feel like for almost every young player coming into the MLS, their goal is to make an impact here to eventually go to Europe. So yeah, of course, my dream is to eventually be in Europe. I really honestly don't have a team specifically, but anywhere in Europe would be great because the atmosphere over there is a lot more different and the love for the game is just stronger. So for sure.
So one thing we always do when we're kind of nearing the end is we like to ask the player that we're interviewing to say a phrase for our podcast that we use at the introduction of our podcast. And
you could just, if there's any way, if you could just say, I'm Daniel Rios and you're listening to Keeping Tabs.
All right. Yeah, I got you. I'm Danny Rios and you're listening to Keeping Tabs.
Perfect, man. Thanks for the interview. We're looking forward to seeing you next year. Thanks for coming on the show. It's a big help.
Appreciate it, man.
Oh, for sure. Thanks for having me.
Hey, we'll be sure to be keeping tabs, all right?
For sure.
All right, man. Good talking to you.
Guys, you too.